Enlightened essence of the source. On my journey down towards the beach today, I noticed that once I became one with nature, with everything, I started to see a different vibration. I started to see beauty all around me that I hadn't seen the day before. It was as though I was sharing with nature. I wasn't looking upon nature as a different entity. I was the essence of what it is all about. Because when you become one with everything, you then see a new world, a different way of looking at life. And it is not that you have to go to the world, but the world comes to you. You start to see a whole different way of looking at life. It is no longer that you have to do things or say things. It is more about the being is the flowing. But there is even more now. There is the source that ignites in everything, that's the energy in everything. But to really become the essence of the source, you have to just be. And I shall go through and try to explain, because this is quite a moment for me. Because I have had odd moments of this showing itself. But with the situation where my family always worked hard, my grandmother worked from 6 in the morning till 10 at night, even when retired. The feeling that I had to do things in life, had to try, had to heal people, had to help people, has now come to a point where if I just be the source, then I can help people more without even having to try. And those who don't want to share with me, is their choice, their free will. So I've suddenly noticed that no longer am I flowing down the river, no longer am I having to see the world go by. I am going to let the world come to me. And this can work in many areas of your life. And once you start to see this, you can start to see the world different. You can start to know whether you're meant to share or not meant to share. For example, I often ask about a situation where I'm in an argument or I'm in a discussion. I find arguments very one-sided, as though one person has to have power over another person. And being in the industry of football, it was always like that. You was always fighting to be the best in the team. You was always fighting to show people that you could play and get in the team. So I did know about this type of thing. And a lot of my friends, when they decided to argue with me, often got quite upset. Because then the competitive side of me, the footballing side, where win at all costs, came out. And so to see life different now is quite strange for me. But at the same time, through the journey of spiritual awakening, I understand now that what I attract, what vibration that I was giving out, that was coming back to me. What lessons I was learnt. Always having to please, always having to prove. This is not the essence of who I am. Because if I'm in the world where everything is me and I am everything, then I do not need to prove myself or be anything but just be. It's not in the doing anymore. It is just be the essence, and that will then be shared with others. Because only the people that are sharing the essence can share with you. And so we still have free will to consider, and so sometimes we still have to plant the seeds. Plant the seeds for it to grow in people. But we can decide whether we want to share with people. And when you start to ask if you should be sharing with different things, you can then see if they're at a vibrational level that's able to share with you. And if they're not, it is best for them to get into the vibrational energy or the source before sharing with you. For otherwise, you will spend your life fighting yourself, learning lessons. For experience is a material thing that shows us the essence, shows us the enlightenment, shows us the big picture to why we needed to learn the lesson. If you imagine the river, you have the top of the river flowing nicely, going along. You have the bottom where it's gurgitating and going round in circles as it's digging up the earth and doing its bit. Each plays its part, and so we need to be in essence of both of them, but we don't need to have attachments to them. If you have attachments to the free-flowing river, then you become the free-flowing river. If you have attachments to the material and the going round in circles, then you become that. Each has its part to play in life, and so each is not bad, but it's only when you understand each that you have the essence, and that's when you learn that you're sharing in the experience. And so this is very important. So this is all about how we can become part of the essence. Well, if you understand that is about sharing at the right time and the right place. For when I went down to the beach, that time was the right time. And because I became one with everything, it showed me things that of beauty. It showed the ripple of the water, the sun shining on the water. I may be able to see this, I would be able to feel this. So your body gets the message first, then it passes it on to the brain, and then we experience it. But when you are the essence, when you are the source's essence, then you already are it, you're already part of it. And so it can bypass the body and go straight into being enlightened. So then you can feel the joy of it and enjoy doing it. And this is the key. It's the enjoyment, or the enjoying, or being the joy, that is the essence. Because then you're already doing it. Because when you're already enjoying life, or you're already part of everybody, you don't feel negative, you don't worry, you don't fear. You're too busy enjoying. You're too busy doing what the essence is all about, being part of everything. And then you start to see a different way of looking at life, because then everything comes to you. So lessons, information, guidance, all comes to you. Whether you get it through inspiration, through the spirit world, through your passion, through looking within, through health, by just feeling healthy. But you see, you're already health, and so then you're not going to feel the pains of walking too far. It's only when you decide to go too far, you try too hard, that you stop the flow. You stop being in the essence. Or when you have certain thoughts. A thought creates us to be out of the essence. So when you're out of the essence, you're not being all that you are. You're not being the source. You don't have to even flow in the source when you're the essence. Flowing is the journey, is understanding and learning. When we become one with everything, then we have nothing else to be. If you understand that your soul has ordered everything for you already, it has already chosen your path, it's already decided then you only need to surrender to be the essence. Because you know that everything is coming into place that you need to learn and experience. And the more you are the essence, probably the less lessons you need. Because it's probably that the essence is what it's all about. The enlightenment comes from understanding the essence of everything, the purpose of everything. And once you start to see the purpose in everything, you have to be the essence to see the purpose. And so then you vibrate in the essence, and though others will vibrate the essence back to you. And so you start to attract people who enlighten you as well as you enlighten them. Then you can ask if you're even supposed to share with them. And then you'll know whether they are the essence. Because if they want to share with you without no needs or wants, then they are the essence. They have to be able to share. There is material sharing, but then that normally comes with a want and a need. We want the stuff back. We don't do it unconditionally. We don't give stuff without no attachments to it. And so then it becomes a material need. I'm not saying this is bad, but a material need has to have a lesson, has to have an experience, has to have a situation for you to learn from. If you already are the learning, if you already are the essence, then you don't need to learn because the lesson is already there. You already will know it. It will come to you. You will see it. You will see why that moment is what it is. This is what the essence is all about. This is now changing totally the way we look at life. We have always sold that we're supposed to do things, we're supposed to try hard, we're supposed to work hard. This really isn't truly what the essence is about. For the essence is being, is the be, just be. It's not even doing. So then we start to realise that the less we do, the more we get. The more that happens. To learn to see that we are the essence. And so then we start to know that there is a new world out there. If you are love, why do you need to feel love? Because you're already love. Why do we consistently need to go and show love? Because if we are love, we're already vibrating love in the other person. They were already feeling it and sharing it because they are part of it. So to actually having a want or a need to be loved or come from a place of lack, because that's all you are. You're showing lack. So if you look at it in this sense, to show is lack. To do is the source. To be is the essence. And so now we start to see a different way. Suddenly we are guided to the essence of everything. Suddenly we are noticing that we're being taken places. And so then when we act upon it, we then become the essence as well. Because by becoming, you're actually doing the free flowing. You're going towards something. You've been guided. So to understand that the essence is all there is, then the lessons are just to enhance us. So then when we're vibrating the essence, we only attract the essence. We even get confirmation of the essence. We even might see feathers. We might feel alive. We might feel the joy from it. We might feel warm in our hearts. These are all confirmations that we are the essence. So then we're always part of everything. And then we start to see everything. Because unless we're vibrating the essence, we can't see. Because our eyes are attached to our brain. And so our brain is looking for lessons. It's thinking of stuff for us to do. Whereas like in mediumship, the message comes to you, not you go to the message. So you might trigger in your brain a thought, because that's what the lesson you need to learn. That's not the essence. The essence is being able to tune in, already part of everything, and so already understanding what the purpose is. And it's only then it comes through the brain or the body to confirm it, to see the big picture, that you've already got the essence. So when we become the essence or spirit, when we become one with everything, we see the world different. We no longer become a body that's all our senses, that's teaching us the journey. We suddenly become what is in everything. And when you become the essence and one with everything, then you don't need the body experience. The body just gives confirmation of what you're getting. So with everything in life, whether you want a drink, whether you want food, ask if you're to share with this energy. And then you'll know whether the energy comes from the essence or not. Then you will know if it comes from the pureness that will feed the body and give you inspiration and passion and make you feel alive and joy in what it does. For anything else is not. So remember that we all have free will, and even people. So if you come across problems, just understand the problems. And by seeing, like we said earlier, when you have confrontation, see whether the person is as the vibration that you're giving out is what the person, whether they want to share and understand the problem is up to them. But if they come a place from argument's sake, then they're not, or trying to control, then they're not coming from the source, they're not coming from the essence. Because if they was coming from the essence, they'd want to share and work it out. If they're coming from a place where basically they want to tell you, then they're coming from a material or a body need or want for you to explain why you said something. You've got to understand that sometimes you're reflecting their needs as well, so you have to cut the experience, forgive yourself for the experience, for you still put out that thought, that word, that will given somebody, even though it's a lesson that they will learn, whether they, in the essence, to be able to learn it is up to them, but still you had a choice to give it out and cause the friction, cause the confrontation. But you do not need to be a victim, and you do not need to be a person that has to accept that they can give it back to you. You still have a choice whether to receive it. So if a person is coming from a place of material, of body, and they want to argue with you, they're not coming from the place of essence. They're not coming from the place they want to share in the experience. And so then you still have a choice whether to share that, whether to argue back. Because you don't need to. Because if you both came from a place of discussion, you would see both sides of the argument. If you come from a place of argument, you only see one side. So to recap, the essence of the source has no attachments. You are, just be the source. You are just the energy. And remember that the source is in everything. The essence that we share is in everything. So for example, if you see that a tree is a spirit, it's a person is only the material essence, but somebody or spirit has decided to be a tree because it doesn't want to communicate through talking, through the material. It wants to communicate through the vibration of the essence. When we start to see that everything has been ordered from objects to everything, then you can actually start to communicate. And that is why we can touch objects and find where it's come from, what it is. And if you get into the essence of nature with animals, you can get to the spirit, and you can even talk and communicate with the animals. Because at one point I feel, and what is coming through, that energy has come in everything around us, and it all is part of spirit. Whether you want to think that they were as a body at one time is totally up to your thinking. I feel that the energy is in everything, and so everything can share the essence with us. Everything could do the purpose if we want to see the purpose. If we are the essence, we will see the purpose in everything. In a glass, in a cup. If it's being used and loved, it's doing its purpose. And so then you could start to see that everything is living, from plants to trees to objects. And so it's only what we feed these objects it becomes. So when we start to see this, we start to experience this. So get back to the essence. Become enlightened in the fact that your journey is about things coming to you, about surrendering that you've ordered and you're already experiencing, and you're going to become one with yourself. When you become one with everything, that's when you can share the essence of the source. Your soul only knows peace. It is only vibrating at a level of peace. And so, to become peace, you then attract the energy of your soul to work through you. Then you can become spirit. When we bring the body and the soul together, the body is just after love. It is after the lessons that it gains to feel the love of nature, to becoming one, to becoming the essence. That is what the body wants. The soul wants peace for the body. And so when you say, I love myself 10 times, I am peace, you become love, and you become peace, and you become one, and you become the source. Even by saying, I would like to share with nature, you become the essence. So become one with everything, share with everything, and then you will see the purpose in everything. Thank you. I hope this has helped. I hope you become enlightened and just share and just be.